What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Look, man, I know a lot of y'all think that I take it easy on people that I like and, what I'm saying, only go hard on those I don't like or whatever. I'll be seeing the comments and all that, man. It's just that usually I feel like a lot of times the mainstream media go in on the people who I support so much that I feel obligated to support them. If they're going to be intransigent um, in their criticism and not be objective, I'm going to be intransigent in my constant support. But look, the truth got to be told in this situation, man. Milwaukee Bucks are frauds right now. They're frauds, and they're a disgrace to basketball. And so is Giannis. As a two-time league MVP, Giannis should be fucking ashamed of himself with his attitude right now. Okay? I don't know what it is about him, but he's not taking the plight of the Bucks serious. All this joking around and laughing. But this is a problem with most of these guys, man. That's why Kobe Bryant stood out so much, because he's still like a sore thumb, because these guys they don't take the game seriously, man. They don't really want to be great, man. They want the perception to be that they're great, but their actions don't seem to suggest it. And look, man, Giannis won a championship, and that run that he had in 2021 was phenomenal. But, that was 3 years ago, going on 4 years ago, toward the end of the season to the playoffs. Look, that's a great run. But to be an all-time great, honestly, you have to win multiple championships. And it's always going to be those people that's going to say, oh, man, if this hadn't happened to KD and if that hadn't happened, they wouldn't have won it. I don't know why Giannis isn't driven more to shut those motherfuckers up. And it's not just him, but I'm just saying, like, he's the leader. And, I mean, it's just optically, it just don't look good, man. Every year, boy, Sidney was saying this in his live stream last night. Every year it's the same shit with Giannis, man. You do all this laughing and joking and playing around, trying to be this fucking the Jerry Seinfeld of the NBA and shit. And then when things don't go right, all of a sudden you make all these, demands, and you try to be a leader and try to sound tough and, lean on the organization to make all these moves that, may not be popular with the NBA, and you distance yourself from saying you had nothing to do with it, but you really did. And it's looking like a damn complete look. I was wrong, man. I thought the Dame Lillard trade would be an asset. It would be, it would put the Bucks in the right direction. But we see now, man, Jrue Holiday was a lot more valuable to the Bucks than we gave credit for. They definitely missed Jrue Holiday because, yeah, that's why I never understood why everybody was going in on him getting cooked by Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler was having an all-time great performance in that series. Look, Dennis Johnson's the all-time great defender, but he looked hapless against Michael Jordan. Sidney Moncrief could not contain Michael Jordan. Doesn't mean he still ain't great, And now you see that the Celtics, who probably going to beat the shit out of the Bucks tonight, okay, at home, they're going to beat the hell out of the Bucks by 30, and Dame going to look like a complete total amateur. Dame only hits big shots when there's no pressure. When he's playing on a losing organization in Portland, when there's no pressure and no real, spotlight on him, he's having all these amazing performances. But where are these amazing performances at now? He could do it in the All-Star break when there's no defensive pressure, hitting shots from the logo and 80 feet from the fucking goal, but he can't make a goddamn layup when it counts. I have no idea. I don't know whether this is something Doc Rivers is trying. I don't know why the hell a guy that shoots 60% from the floor last season, Giannis, why is he only taking 10, 11 shots like he did against the Nets? Why is Bobby Portis leading the team in shot attempts? That's a recipe for disaster. We've been defending, a lot of us been defending Doc Rivers from a lot of this slander. But man, ain't no excuse now. You've had a whole offseason to prepare. Okay, you were thrown into a situation last year. Well, I don't want to say thrown into it, but you know what I mean. After he was hired, he had to go to an entire new different team, new different situation. His system was obviously was different from Adrian Griffin. Okay, there was excuses we made. That was the reason, I think they only went something like, what was it, 19 and 20 or something like that after Adrian Griffin, who everybody, lambasted as a horrible coach. Yeah, Adrian Griffin was, the Bucks didn't look too strong, but they were 30 and 13. Doc comes and take over. I think they go something like 19 and 20, and now they're 1 and 2. So what's the problem? Because we was told that it was Adrian Griffin. At least the media, Stephen A. Smith was purporting that, Adrian Griffin was the problem. But it seemed like it's not a problem with the coaching. It's a problem with the players. And in particular, one of the problems is Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard may be arguably the worst defensive starting guard in the NBA. He is absolutely horrible on defense. His footwork looks bad. You know what I'm saying? He getting beat off the dribble. And it's just amazing to me how lost sometimes he looks on defense. But then again, he was playing in Portland all these years, where it was acceptable for him to go 30 and 52. Mediocrity is acceptable in Portland. But now you got the media spotlight on you. You're playing with a Hall of Famer, a first ballot Hall of Famer, and a 2-time MVP in Giannis. And you're not elevating him at all. You're not. Giannis is getting good numbers statistically, but the problem is, partially Dame Lillard is a horrid defender, and it's like every game, some backcourt player is having the game of the week or a new career high going up against that backcourt. Then it's the schematics, man. I don't know why the fuck the Bucks playing like it's 1997. Why are you packing the paint? You're packing the paint, fine, but it's a 3-point shooting lead, and you got a weak defender in Dame Lillard. Honestly, the backcourt itself is not very good defensively. And they're getting cooked. They're getting smoked. The same thing that happened last year, and to a lesser extent the year before that, is happening now. But Jrue was able to kind of keep, look, he was still able to at least neutralize the other team's perimeter player to a point where he didn't just go nuts. You know what I'm saying? But the 3-point defense has always been a little suspect. But it was at least held to an extent in check by Jrue Holiday. But Dame, he's garbage, man. And if he's not hitting shots, he's not doing anything out there. Just a body, an aging star with a huge bill that becomes a detriment to the league, detriment to the team. You know what I'm saying? And the Bucks, to me, they got a really tough early schedule. So they're going to, it's the reverse of last year where they had an easy start as far as their schedule, and it got progressively worse. If the Bucks aren't careful, they're not even going to be in the top 8 in the Eastern Conference. And they're going to be playing for the play-in. And, it's getting to a point, man, I don't know, man. I know Bucks fans, they're getting fed up. It's the same shit every year. And it just seems like if this continues, somebody getting traded. And it ain't going to be Giannis. Somebody's going to get traded, man. But how the fuck do you lose to the Nets, man? The looked terrible the first 2 games, and then against Milwaukee, they put on a show. They scored 67 points in the second half last night. 67 points. And yeah, I agree with 78. Maybe it's time Doc plays the younger guys because they hungry. I noticed when he put in the younger guys, when the game was out of reach, the lead went from 20 to I think like 11 or something, almost within a 2-minute span as far as game time. It went from a 20-point lead to those guys are hungry, man. This problem with a lot of these dudes in the NBA, man, they're spoiled, man. I'm sorry. I don't like talking like that, man, because I kind of don't like the narrative that, athletes today are all spoiled and entitled, because a lot of times it's only aimed at certain players, NBA players, but they don't say the same thing, I don't see it uttered as much with Major League Baseball players. You know what I mean? I'm getting at there, but it's true. It's absolutely true, man. Look at the effort that's being put out there sometimes by these guys. And then look at the effort from these players that's like barely hanging on to the NBA. A call away from going down to the G League. Thankful for the $3-4 million contracts. Which to the average American, you know what I'm saying, we would be absolutely totally grateful. We goddamn mopped the goddamn stadium to get a $500,000 contract. But these guys, they're spoiled. They're not driven to be great. A lot of these guys, they're more interested in having all these zesty ass designers outfit them so they can be at the Met Gala and ingratiate themselves with the Hollywood crowd and the elites, as far as in the fashion industry or the in crowd. You know what I'm saying? They lose connection with the regular world, and you start dyeing your hair blonde like D-Lo, and you just start looking real weird, man. They're in a totally different world, man. They can't connect with the real world, man. And so to them, when you become that entitled and you become that financially well off, and you start surrounding yourselves with all these other people, man, like criticism seems like a hardship. Media criticism, these guys can't deal with that. Media criticism. There's going to be dudes in the comment section of my video that's going to be crying and whining and complaining that my words somehow are too harsh for them to hear and shit. My words of criticism, because they're not playing up to their expectations, that's too much. But look, man, the Bucks got to right this ship. They got to turn this around. You know what I'm saying? Doc Rivers, I can't keep protecting you no more from criticism. You got the talent. You got the talent, man. Can't keep protecting you. You got talent with the Sixers. You got talent with the Clippers. Yeah, we can keep blaming the players and all that, man. But look, at the end of the day, some of that got going Doc too. But that's a damn shame, man. It's getting tiresome. It's the same shit every year. It's the same shit, the same deficiencies. It's the same problems. The rebounding, offensive rebounding suck. Why didn't the front office make changes with that? Brook Lopez to me is a liability in today's NBA. If this was 1999, he'd be tremendous. He'd be great. He'd be a borderline fringe all-star player. But yeah, he can shoot threes. Yeah, if a player's coming right at him in the paint, he can get blocks. But when it comes to being a versatile defender, roaming the free throw line or getting out and being a guy like Anthony Davis who can recover as far as getting beat off the perimeter and still be able to defend at the rim. Brook Lopez don't have a fucking shot in hell of doing something like that. Today's NBA requires, to me, it requires guys who are athletic, man. And you know, I gotta be careful how I say this, but whenever I look at the Bucks, especially sometimes their bench, it looks like I'm looking at an Indiana squad from 1965 or something, an Indiana Hoosier squad. You know what I mean? It needs some athleticism, man. They need some young athletic dudes in their primes. They need to start playing some of these younger guys, and the NBA need to just move on for some of these old ass fogies. That's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.